Hey, thanks for having me.
We are welcoming Andrew Anderson from Anderson Advisors. He is a CPA here locally in Champlin, and he is located right under the Old Maple Bank, which is now Granite Bank, right next to Clive's. And he's going to tell us a little bit about his business. So, how long have you been a CPA?
I've been a CPA about 12 years now. I started, one of the big accounting firms, CPA firms downtown Minneapolis, and for 6.5 years, 7 years, I was working for them. And then from there, I went out on my own since 2018 and have been growing my practice ever since.
Perfect. And so, just so people understand, what is the difference between an accountant and a CPA?
Yeah, it's a good question. A CPA, essentially has the credentials. So education, training, held to like a higher ethical standard compared to an accountant. Accountant doesn't necessarily have to have the education or even necessarily the training. Anybody could be an accountant as long as they kind of know what they're doing, and they have the right clientele that suits them. A CPA is kind of suited for all realms of business in a sense, and then you kind of go out on your own and kind of find your specific industry or your specific set of skills that you want to translate.
Makes perfect sense. So if you're just like maybe you just work a simple 9 to 5 job and it's not too complex, you could use an accountant. But if you do something like real estate, like I'm in, I know I use you. I love you guys. So you do a good job with my real estate taxes. And so someone like me or the self-employed or something like that definitely wants to go with their trade, and definitely use a CPA.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah. So, those small businesses, you probably want to be with a CPA that can help you, especially specific to, like for you, specific to that real estate industry, and just making sure they have the right expertise. And it's, as a taxpayer, it's ultimately your tax return. So, make sure you do the right interviewing process and make sure you're comfortable with whoever you go with.
Yes, absolutely. So, as we're obviously getting into tax time now, what is one thing that's maybe a common mistake or like a myth that you can help us with today as people get ready to prepare their taxes?
Yeah, the big thing that I see, especially with people that haven't used preparers in the past, is unreported income. 1099s that are missed, or even, if you're invested in, you have a brokerage account or something like that, it's always good to reach out to your financial advisor, make sure you're not missing any 1099s that are coming from them. Or even maybe the Social Security office. A lot of people think Social Security isn't taxable and it doesn't have to be reported on their tax return. Well, it does have to be reported, and so there can be issues with not reporting those types of things.
Perfect. And so just as people are preparing here, what is some advice? I mean, you've given us a couple touch points, so what would be a super important thing that they need to do to get ready to prepare their taxes for last year?
I'm that nerdy accountant. So the using a checklist or an organizer, just to organize and just go through it. You can go through it quick. Just hitting the big bullet points within that organizer so you're not missing anything. And like I said, income's the big one. The last thing you want is an IRS notice. So, making sure you have all that income. And then it's my job, after we do the return, to reach out with questions. Do you have 529 plan, for example? utilize that as a deduction for Minnesota. Things like that a preparer should be following up with their clients and asking questions that probably wouldn't be on that organizer.
Right. Yep. And so just as a quick testimonial, I always, when I prepared my taxes, I just never knew all the things that could be deducted. So I definitely lean on you guys to help me with preparing taxes and making sure that I'm not missing anything or missing a deduction or things like that. So I can attest to your services. I've been using you guys for years, and you guys always come through for me. So thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah. So if you guys are looking for someone to help you out with your taxes, Andrew is right here again in Champlin, right next to Clive's in the bank building. And what's the best way for people to reach out to you, Andrew?
You can call our main number, which is 763-231-0337. Or you can shoot us an email at info@andersonadvisorsmn.com, or you can just drop in. Avoid Fridays if you can. Fridays are always a work from home day, or we try to. So, but any other day is fine.
Perfect. Well, thank you for all the great information, and Champlin residents can get a hold of you. We will put the number below the video and on the screen in case you missed it. And if you guys are looking for any help with real estate, certainly reach out to me. And if you're a local business wanting to be interviewed as well, I'd love to have you on the next one. Thanks, Andrew. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Heidi. Appreciate it. Thanks.